Morning, friends of Knox-Met Kids at Home. We are so glad that you're here. We're in the season of Epiphany, the season of stars. And we're glad that you're joining us. If you're here, let us know in the comments below, and feel free to say hi to the other people who are saying hello and letting us know that they're here. We're going to share a song, some songs, some story, and prayers together, and we're so glad that you're joining us. Today we remember the baptism of Jesus. But first we're going to bring some friends out, and they're going to help us light our opening candle, or lighting our candle and singing our welcoming song.
The words are, God welcomes all, stranger and friend. God's love is strong and it never ends.
Sounds like this.
God welcomes all, stranger and friend. God's love is strong and it never ends. God welcomes all, stranger and friend. God's love is strong and it never ends.
Now we're going to do that twice more. This time, instead of singing stranger and friend, we're going to leave some space. And you can say the names of the people that you're with, or maybe the names of some of the people who are commenting below that they're watching along with you. Sound good? Give us a thumbs up. Awesome. Here we go.
God welcomes all, stranger and friend. God's love is strong and it never ends. God welcomes all. God's love is strong and it never ends.
Big finish.
God's love is strong and it never ends.
Great singing, folks. Welcome. Now, this is the season of Epiphany, a season of stars. And in this season, each Sunday morning, we have a special Epiphany prayer. And we've invited different folks who participate in the service to record themselves and their version of this prayer that we'll then incorporate in. So this morning, we've got our friends from the Oler family, and this is what they've created for us.
Arise and shine. Your light has come,
and the glory of God
has shone upon you.
Friends, that was so great. Thanks so much for sharing your version of the prayer. Folks, we'd love to have you and your entourage share your version, your interpretation of that beautiful Epiphany prayer. If you'd like to send in your video, let us know that you're interested in making one through either leaving a comment or through sending us a message. We're going to sing a song. This is a new song. It's called When the Spirit Sings in Me. She sings out loud and clear. We think it's a great song that goes really well with this week's story. Now it's kind of a new one, so we've put the words in the video description, and so you should be able to read them along. But we're gonna show you at least how the chorus goes. We've got some folks who are gonna help me out with that. Now the chorus is mostly the word la. Can you give me a la?
La.
Give me a la la.
La la.
Give me a la 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 la.
La 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 la.
Give me a la la la.
La la la.
Perfect. You got most of the chorus right there. And so if you get mixed up with the rest of things, you can just join along in the chorus. And Cheryl's going to sing it for us. We'll sing it through a few times so we can get used to it.
Singing la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
And again.
Singing la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. When the Spirit sings in me, she sings out loud and clear. She sings a song that sets us free and casts out every fear. And I don't know where that sweet wind will blow. All I know is that's where I'm gonna go. Singing la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. When the Spirit sings in me, sings out bold and strong. Sings a simple melody. You can sing along, and we don't know where that sweet wind will blow. All we know is that's where we're gonna go. Singing la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Dance break.
When the Spirit sings in me, she sings out loud and clear. She sings a song that sets us free, casts out every fear. And I don't know where that sweet wind will blow. All I know is that's where I'm gonna go. Singing la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Now we're going to do it again, and this time you're going to try to get as many la's as you can.
Singing la 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 la.
Good job. Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a la.
La.
And you deserve a seat. So we're going to grab ourselves a seat. You've probably worn yourself out from dancing. And we've got a story to share with you.
Today, we explore a story from the Christian scriptures in what we now call the Bible. It's one of those stories that sometimes we wonder, is that a true story? I like to think about it this way. Sometimes stories are true. Sometimes stories are real. A real story means that if you were there, you would have seen things exactly the way that the storyteller says. That's one way a story can be true. But there's another way to look at it. Some stories, if you were there, you would have seen something different than the words of the story. But the words of the story say something that is true. Even if it didn't happen in that exact way, something true about our world, about God, about ourselves. I think this story is true in that way. Now, if you think back to about a month ago, Mary, who would bring Jesus into the world, visited her cousin Elizabeth, who was also expecting a baby. Now, her baby would be named John. When John grew up, he would be a prophet who would speak hard truth to his community. And that's where our story begins. And here's how it goes. John, who was called the baptizer, was in the wilderness, far away from the city where the people who held power lived. John preached a message calling people to stop the things that were being done that were hurting their communities, especially the people who had very little and were struggling. Some people who had heard John's message were moved and wanted to do this. So they came with him to the wilderness, and as a sign of wanting to live in new ways, they immersed themselves in the river. The river that their ancestors crossed. Long before, to bring them into freedom. It was like they went into the river like their ancestors, longing for a new way of being, and came out like a new people. Many of the powerful came as well. And while they were welcome, John knew that some of them had no intention of changing their ways and wanted to continue exploiting and hurting others. But they wanted to look holy. John was not pleased and was not afraid to tell the truth about such people. As all this was happening, Jesus of Nazareth came to John to be baptized. And when he did, as he came out of the water, the Spirit herself, like a dove, came down from the skies, and with her came a voice. This is my child, the beloved one. This is my child, the beloved one. Now here's the thing about this story. People still do something called baptism. Remembering this story, but not all people in churches choose to be baptized for so many different reasons. So it's important to remember that being baptized doesn't make anyone beloved, but because each person is beloved and invited to live in that love in ways that bring love and life to others, whether we've been baptized or not. Because baptize means immerse, like being immersed in water. And each one is immersed, totally surrounded, saturated even with love. So I wonder if there are times that you feel that. Maybe not with a voice you can hear, but a feeling that you belong. I wonder who are the people in your life who echo that voice of love to you. I wonder where are the spaces where you know you belong. And I wonder how we can all be part of building communities where each one can hear that voice, that call, beloved. Thanks for wondering with me.
Now, before we share some prayers, we're going to sing our prayer song. And our prayer song is kind of like a good bridge between that story and our prayers. In the story, we talked about praying that our communities and ourselves would be safe space. And a sanctuary can mean a beautiful building or a beautiful room in a building with lots of like fine mahogany furniture and leather-bound books, but it also can mean safe space. And in this song, when we say, "Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary," we pray that we, in ourselves and in our communities, would be safe space for all people to bring themselves and to find that belovedness there together. So, oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
This next verse has a high part, and if you'd like to sing that, you can join Cheryl. Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary. Oh, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Great job, folks. Give yourself a high five for singing it so nice. Let's give a big high five all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Now we're going to share some prayers together. And if you'd like to write in the comments below what are your prayers today, you're welcome to do so. Maybe you've got joys and thanksgivings that you'd like to share. Or maybe you'd like to share a fear or a concern or a sadness in the prayers too. And in our prayers, we share these things together, knowing that we hold them in loving hands, and that we even are held in our belovedness in this community that seeks to live out of our best selves and to echo God's belovedness to all people and things. And we bring together our prayers using words that Jesus taught friends and followers both. A prayer of Jesus, or a Lord's Prayer as it's sometimes called. And we're going to do it with some actions to remind ourselves that our prayers come from our hearts and our minds and our mouths, but our whole selves are involved in living out our prayers and answering the prayers of others. So we're going to share that together. You can help me? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And we can't share peace or peas with actions, or with being in the same place, but we can do it with some actions, some signs. This is one of the ways to share peace in American Sign Language. So we take two hands, cross them like this, and shift it over and down. Something becomes something else and becomes quiet. Peace be with you. Let's try that again. Peace be with you. And we take this to point at ourselves and others, and also with you, and you, and you, and you. Thanks, friends. We're going to end by sharing our blessing song before we go. So we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning to sing and to wonder and to share in story and in prayer together. Thanks again to the Olders for their interpretation of our Epiphany prayer, Arise and Shine, and we'd love to show another one off next week. And so let us know in the comments or by messaging if you're interested in creating another interpretation of that prayer. Our 10:30 traditional service goes live on Facebook, and following that is our Zoom coffee time, and we'd love to have you join us for any of those things. Next week we start a new series here at Knox-Met Kids at Home that you're going to have to watch for details about that. We're going to close with our blessing song. May God bless you and keep you. May light from God's face shine upon you and give you peace, and give you peace, and give you peace forever. May God bless you and keep you. May light from God's face shine upon you and give you peace, and give you peace, and give you peace forever. May God bless you and keep you. May light from God's face shine upon you and give you peace, and give you peace, and give you peace forever, and give you peace, and give you peace, and give you peace forever. So friends, thanks so much for singing and for sharing with us today. And as we go, may grace and peace and grapes and peas be with you. See you soon.